Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Lee. This is Reefer Explained. Today we're going to be talking about phosphates. I just uploaded a video from the pH refactory part 2, touch ground on my current situation of phosphates reading 0, and I've been dosing a little bit per day, being careful, and now I have a reading 0.02, exactly where I want to be. I've done a API test kit because I don't have any other phosphate test kit, and you can see there is some green in there. It's not yellow, so that is an indication that we do now have phosphates, and the tank is leveling out, which I'm really happy for. So it does pay off to keep retesting and take each step as it comes on phosphates. Nitrates, as I said, using Hannah checkers, and they are reading around 7, usually plateau around 5, but I have dosed 1 mil here and there just to make sure that the roller mat is running and the protein skimmer doesn't bottom out the tank. There's a lot of filtration on this tank, and a lot of maintenance that goes into it, so that's my main concern. But these Hannah checkers are really good. The phosphate one is working. I was tempted to get the URL one, but I'm hoping to get away from that because it's just another expense to buy another phosphate test kit where this one is clearly working. So that's really good news for me today at 0.02. They say you should keep some phosphates in the tank. You should be able to check for. I think since, if we just swing round, since we've gone over this tank, we're really removing, manual removal of the hair algae that I had that was some on the rocks. It was like tufts of green hair algae, not so much biopsis or anything like that. I thought it was, but yeah, it's now it's not being consumed by that. It's now being consumed by the corals, and especially this golf ball. Gonna pour it here. You can see the colors have really popped. Now this was not doing well for some time. There's still a little bit of algae in the top there, but this is really growing at a good rate now, and it's great colors. So I think the phosphate and the nitrates, because they're balancing out, I am getting better coloration, better growth. Even there's one here, this one's new, so this one I can't really say on, but this one here is a similar, it's I think it's called like an Iron Man, very similar to, I think it's the same one actually as that one over there, but this was only a few polyps and this was barely dead, and it's grown double the size since now I've removed the hair algae that was suffocating it and upped my intake of phosphates. So this, and the same with this one here, this SPS. Polyps are growing more. I've got a new one up here. I think it's like a Monty, it's called a beach bum. There's a couple are not doing so well. This one up here, it may be that it needs to be moved to the sand bed. I might try that today because it's not, maybe it's too high, it's just not liking it. The other one underneath, the Goni, the Candy Floss, is doing well. And obviously my elegance corals are doing well. I do try to feed these guys sometimes some Reefroids, some AB+, but I am trying to be careful of how much nutrients are going in the tank, and it seems to be that everything is doing quite well. Let me know what your thoughts are on, as I said, phosphates and nitrates. Is it something you test for? Is it something you worry about? My Montipora here, they're not doing so well. These ones here, they've really shedded and peeled, and I'm wondering what else could be causing this. We have an acro here. I think it's maybe a tort of some kind, I'm not sure, but this is doing really well, whereas this one is making a comeback, but this completely bleached kind of out at some point. I don't know what happened. So that was like a staghorn, I believe. So yeah, guys, really happy with the test this morning on phosphates and nitrates. I tested for a few days ago and they're fine. Apart from that, not much more to go through today, but test your tank, know where your levels are at, just keep testing, use different test kits to back them up, just in case the test is out of date or there's something wrong. You can take it to an LFS store to get them to check it. Using a API test kit as well, which I did today, and it did show phosphate, so that was my first indication that there was obviously some phosphate showing on the test. And then I ran the HANA checker to be sure, and it gave me a readout, so we are good on that. I'll show you what I'm feeding, dosing on the tank, which is the phosphates for the tank, which is the, as I said, I believe it was, NIOS. So I've got NIOS phosphate plus and nitrate. Now you want to be really careful with this stuff, because if you obviously overdose, you could end up having a major problem and just costing a lot of time and energy to resolve the problem that you were really just trying to increase a number in a sense. On here, I don't know if you can see this, I've not shown this before, but these are your levels of your tank. So I'm at 260 litres, say your rock and everything else is probably around 250 with the sump. It's telling me that should be around 3 mils to get it up to 0.01, and I always want to get it up to 0.02, so I'm dosing 6 mil here, and just using a little obviously it's got a millimeters on the side, 4 mils here, so I'm using this and then dosing another 2 to get 6 mils, and I'm doing this every other day, mainly twice a week, and I'll keep testing to make sure that those levels are good. And I would be really keen for Refactory to announce the smart reef tester, just to purely get my hands on a automated phosphate checker, and possibly a nitrate checker. They're my main two concerns. I know people go on about the alkalinity, KH. I'm using a HANA checker. I've never had a problem with it. It always works spot on, and it's an easy test to do, but phosphates and nitrates are just something I'd rather not test for manually. I'd rather just have them tested on that front. So guys, thanks for watching. It's a short one, but I just wanted to touch home ground on the whole phosphates and nitrates, and obviously, as I said today, test and recheck and get another test kit that's a different brand, and check your dates, make sure that they are not expired. My API test kits are coming up for expire in July. I've had them since I started. They've lasted a few years, I believe. They're quite good. As I said, if you're starting out in the hobby, and you're maybe running the whole reef, the cycle of the tank, ammonia, phosphate, nitrates, nitrate, then API test kit is perfect for that. Once you progress and you get into the hobby, you can pick up the HANA checkers, you can pick up NIOS test kits, reef factory test kits, and there's obviously a lot of other test kits I'm not mentioning. And now I've got into this hobby, appreciating what levels, where they should be, and obviously elements that have come into it now with some of the elements that are being depleted quicker. I'm testing on a ICP test. ICP test with RO is about £30 in the UK. It is expensive what it is, but you're getting all of those elements double checked by a lab, and they are going to come back and tell you on the app what's running low, how to fix it. It's a worthwhile thing to do, even once a year, the 6 month mark, just to check where you're at, and then you can obviously add some of those elements back in. But again, blind dosing is not a good idea, and it's something you just want to be careful of. With the Gonies, Alves, people have said obviously they'll do well when you're dosing manganese, and that is something I did do, and I'm wondering why some of my Gonies have sulked or peeled off. I've lost 3 in the last month. I'm wondering if that level's high, and I'm just waiting for the test kit to come back on that. I've only been dosing the recommended amount, and that's been once or twice a week. So I can't see it could be that. And the only other thing that was happening was I had zero phosphates. So I think it's the zero phosphates constantly being zero have impacted the reef and just killed off a lot of the coral. Apart from that, guys, there's not much more to talk about today. I will do a review update when the pH pen comes from Amazon. It comes with its own, as I said, low and high calibration fluid. We'll see how accurate it is compared to the Reef Factory. It's probably not going to be great, but it's just something to back up with in case your pH probe goes wrong or your calibration fluid is out of date. So always have a backup of every kind of thing, even if it's test kits or equipment. Guys, thanks for watching. I've bumbled on a little bit about nitrates and phosphates. Thanks for watching, and see you on the next one.